Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you're tuning in, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you are a new viewer, consider subscribing as you watch throughout the video. All right, guys, green day today. We are finishing up 635 and 60 cents. We did give back about $30 after the live stream on a trade on CXAI, which did end up going up a little bit more, but I didn't really continue trading. Let's talk about the trades from today. BXRX. Nice red to green here pre-market, right? This thing started off around 8 a.m. Breaking news, pushes up nicely, going from lows around 205 or so up to about 340, pulls back, curls up into the open. I wanted to see that cup and handle pattern, that cup and handle formation. We didn't quite see that with this one, right? It came, we had that U-shaped red to green. Right here is where we want to see that sideways flag and then breakout. Instead, we had a big rejection handle. So not great right there. We can actually take a look at this trade on the archive. Let's take a look at it. I'll show you guys this one. You know, it was a very aggressive move. I thought it looked great. But unfortunately, this thing came right back down almost instantly. So BXRX, let's skip ahead. And let's come back to this candle here. So I noticed it pretty early, which was great. And, you know, I'm down 129 initially. And I'm going to watch right here. And let's skip ahead a little bit for time. Yes, I'm going to watch right here. I'm going to take a small loss, trying to buy it up around 13 or so. I'm in there 10, it pushes down to 6. And I didn't quite really give it a chance in that particular trade, thinking maybe, okay, it's not ready yet. I want to be in and the stock going higher through the level. So I'm going to keep watching at it here. There's 13, 14, 15. There's some buying. But you can see how it's like hesitating at the area here. So that's what threw me off, right? Again, the second time here, 15 for the ABCD pattern on this short-term flag not going. So I'm in a little higher, 21. I'm making sure it's going to hold here, so I'm in. This is a beautiful trade. I sold it 40. It dips down to 25. I'm back in watching for the retested highs. And nothing. I should have sold that sooner. I should have sold it sooner because it was taking a while to go. So, you know, just like that, even with just, this, I'm using small size here, 1,100 shares, right? I go from red 175. Again, here's another look. So I'm in. Are we holding? We are. Okay, I'm back in. So from red 175, I'm in at 22. This is a nice trade here. Boom, selling right up here at 40. I actually got the fill at 40 coming out, which is a great fill. So we made back that entire loss. Again, whenever the stocks are strong, this pullback here should always hold. Now, some people might say, Relentless, it didn't quite hold over the pre-market highs. Maybe you were being a little too aggressive. But already in pre-market, I said, hey, cup and handle. Can we see it? And so we're fluctuating right here. I thought this was a great entry. And I'm going to buy twice. And you can see a great fill in there, right? So there's 22. This is where, hold on. Let's try and pause it here so we can see that entry once we come back down. I think where we are 25 by 26. So I get filled 23, right? Pay attention to the bid price and where the selling is going through. So I got a good fill down here, 23. And then I add, getting filled a little higher. The average in the trade here, moving up slightly. Now, this is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth, man. And if this was good, we would have been selling at, let's say, 36, maybe 35 for a nice 10, 12 cent gain. Best case scenario, we're selling 35 and then 45. Maybe we're getting back in again. It goes up to 50, 60, and then we start to see that consolidation again. So very disappointing once again here. And we can move on from this. So I'm out at 19. I sold one pretty early because I started to get worried it wasn't going. And then after all this red coming in, it's like, yeah. So this first sell, I already processed, in my mind to sell whilst we were around I think about 25 right here. So I'm in. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So, let's say around 22. I'm like, okay, let's sell one to reduce risk. And being that we're seeing all this, I'm just going to sell the entire thing now and just bail out. So yeah, that happened. And that wasn't great. VIRI we did much better on, which we'll talk about now. So again, the pattern here, cup and handle, bringing up the drawing tool again, going back to pre-market, right? We got our teacup. We have the handle now on our teacup, which is the flag. Now, can we see the new high? Rejection candle, sold off. That's how it goes. So we got to keep that stop tight always. Moving on to the next stock. VIRI. This one we're green 683. Guys, today was also a day where we kind of gave back some profits here and there. This one a little different of a pattern, right? We're pushing up from after hours, we're back down, and a bit of a red to green in here. Nice pullback in VWAP, it holds. Stair stepping up, stair stepping up, stair stepping up. And from there into the open, I'm watching at this for the red to green, right? Again, some people might say relentless red to green. Well, on a bit of a shorter scale here, right? So we're down and then we're up again. So a bit of a V-shaped red to green in here. So as we're bottoming out, I'm noticing the subtleties here. Triple bottom. And then candle making the new high. We get a baby pullback in here. And then we break over the high. We break over the pre-market highs as well right here, right? And then we start to flag sideways. So once this pulls back into this pre-market highs, I'm also buying there. So I'm buying here, going up, buying here, coming down, selling, going up. And right here, I took a nice big position at these lows here, and unfortunately we kept it tight, but we did give back a little bit, trying to get the bottom here. We finally got the bottom, or at least what we thought was the bottom, but we did not curl up. Right here, I sold as it came back down here, sold flat, and it did curl up, but ultimately didn't quite break out. This is disappointing. I really wanted to see this red to green come back to the highs of 44 and then break out, pull back into 44, hold, and then go again to the moon, just like that, to the moon. Anyhow, moving on, we also had CXAI, which was a great stock. A lot of the guys in the Discord did better on this one. I thought it was good, but the spreads, you can see only 9,000 shares traded. I was up 180 at best, only 500 shares though. But in terms of my analysis, I would say I did well. I just needed to be aggressive here, really. My analysis was decent. We did have some losing trades here and there, but I think I could have walked away, maybe like 1,000. Well, we'll bring it down. Let's say 600 in the green if I'm to like really, be on it. And then it comes down to size. Like, with 1,000 shares, 600 is 60 cents, which you can make on 2-3 trades. Minus the losses. Like if you get an offset, so you make let's say $1.40. Maybe you took, I don't know, maybe you took 50 cents of losses along the way, but that'll be a $900 day with 1,000 shares. These type of stocks you can make money, especially if you're pushing size. You just have to make sure you don't get those high fills and you connect where you need to be connecting. Yeah, you'll lose here and there, but ultimately if you're seeing that accuracy, you'll walk away nicely green. But in terms of patterns, it starts off a little on the, let's say, sneakier side, right? I had it on watch, but then I realized, okay, it's not super obvious. People might not really be watching at it. So we get a small push, then a red to green here. And from there, when we broke over the pre-market highs, it held up nicely on the first couple of dips. And this was great for people who are watching at it and paying attention early. Pre-market highs held on this pullback 1, 2 times. What do I say about the third pullback? That we got to be careful for a 5-minute dip. The third time right here usually does not work. And so the 5-minute pullback, meaning a lower entry, sometimes it's what's required, right? But this is good. Great. Not good at topping wicks up there, so the scalps might have been a little tricky. And then from there, we really, curl back over high of day. So VWAP didn't hold very well here. I mean, initially, yeah. I guess, right? We can give this a pass. I mean, VWAP, let's say, was at 13. It comes to a low of 03 and bounces to a high of 62. So if you're buying VWAP here, you got to, and you don't stop out very tightly. If you're watching below the whole dollar and you hold, this could have been a nice bounce. And we talk about, hey, what can you do with 1,000 shares, right? This is how the money is made on this type of stock. So let's just use 1,000 shares. The math is easy, right? So to start the day, we get a bottoming wick off of VWAP. High of day is at 891. Low right here is 870. 30 cents back to $9, right? So if you're buying this VWAP bounce, there's 30, let's say 20 to 30 cents. On the lower side, let's say 20 cents, 15 cents. Okay, you're already up 150. High of day over 9 goes to 925. There's another 15 cents. There's $300. So again, now it comes down to, if you took losses, were you able to keep them tight, right? To offset, like, if you're going to have gains and you have a loss, okay, the loss will offset some of the gains, but, can we have bigger winners than we have losers? Which is why we're aiming for that 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio in the trades, right? High of day right here works out splendidly. I think this is a difficult 5-minute pullback. But it pulls back into yesterday's close, or what is this, close or high? Yesterday's high. So it pulls back, instead of holding VWAP, it pulls back into yesterday's high, and it holds up nicely. So, it depends on where you're watching this dip. That would have determined if you would have had a nice winning trade here or not, right? So again, VWAP did hold though. This is another 40-cent trade here if you bought this dip at VWAP directly. If you bought again, you could have gotten caught in this red candle, but this is where it flushed down into yesterday's high and then curled back up. So we can put 1095 on this charting, right? 1095. Yeah, so these stocks are not bad, man, right? Is that the right area? No. It's 875. What am I doing? 875. Here we go. Yeah, so you guys will see it on the other charts now. So yeah, 875 yesterday's high. We pulled back almost to the penny, right? 866, just a couple cents off. And then, this, anybody who caught this, and you're holding that 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, you essentially caught this entire move through the new highs. If you're, depending on if you sold all or scaled out slowly, but again, this is where the money is being made, right? Maybe some scalps in these two candles here, but right here got a little tricky. I thought that, it was taking a little too long, being a little impatient though, but this was nice to see. This is a huge wedge, man. Huge wedge in here. Huge wedge, right? And it held up. It held up. It did make a new low. We had lows initially of 1038. And again here, 1029, 1031. So, same thing. But it does break down right here to a low of 1010. This is what can chop you out of the trade sometime. Volume was decreasing, right? So this is also something to pay attention to. Like if the volume increases to the red side is where we have the issue. But volume didn't really increase that much, maybe just on this candle here, but decreased over time. It held its levels. And when you get chopped out here, if you're really paying attention, there might be an opportunity to get back in, especially on this type of drop, low of 22 and it curls again. And it's a matter of just waiting it out. Again, we could see that drop off down and where maybe you get back more profits, assuming you're already green. If not, that's the risk in the trade. But if we work out, this is the follow through, and this comes down to where are you selling if you're holding. If you're holding down here, where are you selling? Are you selling all at high of day right here, or are you scaling out, selling a quarter, selling some more, maybe even adding back? Because, and Marcelo, I was talking to Marcelo on the phone. He took this dip right here, right? High of, look at the resistance here. Resistance. Previous resistance, becoming support. So when we break out, right, resistance, 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 resistance. When we finally break out, resistance becoming now support, 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 and then boom. This this to be honest, I really should have traded this, but I told myself I was done. This is like some of the best type of stuff for me because it makes it easy for me to buy when I know this type of resistance was here. This is all resistance, right? All of this. So when this pulls back into this level, support, 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 support. But do you have the confidence to just buy it and hold it? And you are buying it under the context of the stock being extended because it is. But are you comfortable understanding the situation? And from 11, this goes up to 13. So, there's another, you know, crazy, but this is time. This is from 12 all the way to 12:30. You got to be patient in these trades, man. And you really got to sit there and not sell, not paper hands, those type of things. But anyhow, this is a long recap. Let's get out of here. 16 minutes. Guys, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. And tomorrow again at 9 a.m., 9:15 is the sweet spot. We'll be ready to go live for another beautiful day in the market. Stay safe, stay green. Relentless Trader, signing out.